Football.
Oh,
Do we want to cover Tom Brady retiring? Do we want to cover the David Flores lawsuit against the NFL? What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Ooh,
That's
Tom Brady
loaded.
retiring, it's good for football that this guy's finally moving on.
Do you think he's actually retiring? Because
I think he could totally take a year off and then come back.
You think he might come back?
He is psycho Tom. He talks a lot of shit. He's actually will go off and yell at his teammates. You know what I mean? Like he is actually incredibly competitive. And that's one thing that people actually, I guess, sometimes find endearing because he holds everybody accountable. He holds himself to the same, level, to the same standard. You know what I mean? So that's why people like him as a teammate. And so because of that, I think he might be sitting at home one day and be thinking, I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that guy. And I'm better than that guy. You know what? I actually feel good. I haven't been hit in a year. I'm going to come back. Like Michael Jordan, came back.
Michael Jordan came back
and still made an all-star game.
Right after his short pause and shift into baseball. I always found the timing of that a little odd, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, that's him. Tom Brady and Michael Jordan both had 2 Hall of Fame careers. Tom Brady's first 3 Super Bowls was a Hall of Fame career, and then his 4 Super Bowls after that were also a Hall of Fame career. Michael, 3 championships, baseball, 3 other championships. That pre-baseball thing, that was a Hall of Fame career. And then after that, you win 3 in a row. That's a Hall of Fame career as well.
So you're arguing that Michael Jordan had 3 separate Hall of Fame careers because of his career in basketball, then his pause into baseball, being successful there, considering he was not a baseball player. So I think it was a success as well. And then shifting back into basketball and being successful again.
Yeah, I think those two careers, if those were different people, pre-baseball and post-baseball, we would talk about those people as those people would be Hall of Famers. I mean, Tom is the greatest. And I used to be a Tom Brady hater, but then that epic comeback against Atlanta, the first Super Bowl to ever go into overtime, where these niggas inexplicably blew a 28-3 lead with fucking less than 8 minutes.
Inexplicably blew a 28-3 lead.
How dumb are you, my nigga?
I mean, I was like, this shit's rigged.
Y'all are dumb. Y'all are dumb.
Yeah. Or you guys are just stupid.
It was so inexplicably dumb the way that the Atlanta Falcons did that, to the point where everyone believed it was rigged because
where everybody did
how the fuck
right? Did you blow a 28-3 lead?
Like
right. So you're either
had some money.
Right. You're either on the take or you're an idiot. Right. I don't know which one you want, but pick your poison.
And then I was at that point, I was like, wow, this guy's amazing.
So if there's a comparison made between, I don't think there's any comparison personally. I mean, I think it's a very clear answer, but there is a comparison that I saw in the sports world of discussions about this. Who is the greatest athlete of all time, Tom Brady or Michael Jordan? I mean, personally, I think it's Serena Williams, but I'm biased. Is there a comparison to be made there at all?
If you talk about dominance over the course of multiple decades, I think you also have to give you got to throw Shaun White in there. You got to throw Muhammad Ali in there.
Shaun White, right? Muhammad Ali.
Because this nigga is going to his 5th Olympics and he's going to win gold again.
Shaun White?
Yeah. You talk about dominating for 20 fucking years. Can't none of you niggas touch me.
Yeah, my husband's a huge fan of his. He's always like nobody touches Shaun White. This guy, he was just born to do this.
Yeah, you literally, I own this shit. You shouldn't even call it snowboarding anymore. You should call it Shaun Whiting.
Right. It's called Shaun Whiting. It's not called snowboarding, and no one else need compete.
But also Usain Bolt, given how long sprinter's career isn't supposed to last as long as his did. And he had, 3 consecutive Olympics of dominance, absolute dominance, literally shattered records and was jogging and pumping up the crowd, fucking 10 meters before the finish line and still shattered, fucking world record.
Agreed.
And literally no one could touch him. And then when people said he was down, he came back and nope, fuck you. No, I'm literally going to win 3 fucking gold medals 3 years in a row. I'm that good.
So is there a comparison to be made or is there not? And if there is, who's the winner?
I think the winner is Tom Brady's wife, Gisele Bündchen, because part of what makes Tom Brady excellent is he's this good, but he's always been willing to get paid like he's this good. And so that attracts all these other players that are willing to take. He takes a giant pay cut. So everybody else is willing to take a little pay cut.
Eddie says that a lot too. It's his willingness to have taken a pay cut to get the best team that makes him the greatest, because he put the goal of winning over his ego, basically.
Yeah. And his wife makes $40 million a year.
Right. She's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's straight.
She makes 40 million a year doing fashion shows in Europe, and then comes back and cheers on her husband. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you don't need to go and try to break the bank with your contract. I got us.
I got us. So you build the best team and I'll just take care of everything.
Yeah. He said, I want fucking rings.
Yeah. And it worked. And it's a good plan. And it shows that they are a great team. Mm-hmm. He and his wife, he and Giselle. I mean, they were smart enough to put the vision over their ego. And I'm not a huge football fan myself. And if I was, I'm Team Kelsey. He's so cute. But I do respect what Tom Brady and Giselle have built.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and 20 years of it too.
And 20 years of it. I mean, you can't. No matter, you can like or dislike him. I mean, the guy's in the game for 20 years. That's just numbers.
Yeah, like, and I told you he talks shit. Like there's a recording of him talking to somebody. He's like, yeah, I played against your dad. Ask your dad about me.
I played against your dad. Ask him how I roll, bitch.
Yeah.
That's funny. And there is no retort to that.
What the fuck you gonna say to that?
I played against your daddy and I beat him. I'll beat you, bitch.
You say yes, sir. You
just say, at this point, you just say, yes, sir.
Yeah. I can't say shit
just
to
shut
that.
the fuck up because Tom Brady just dropped his nutsack on your forehead.
Yeah. There's literally nothing you can say to that. I played your dad. Fuck you.
Right. And I beat him.
And I whooped his ass. I'm going to whoop your ass too.
Right. I'm going to toss you across the room. I can't be mad at him for that. Right. And I hear he is a very disciplined with himself, with his body, how he eats, how he sleeps. You know, and that's a sacrifice that his wife took on too, because that means he's going to bed at 8:00 when she wants to kick it till midnight. She's probably taking on the brunt of the kids, the finance. She's alone a lot. He's at games. I mean, she's like one of the hottest women in the world. That bitch can catch a dick. So it's a lot of sacrifices that she has made to allow him to become the man that he's become. And, you know, I respect him valuing that. You know, so few men value the contributions that women bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've always loved her. I think she's amazing. And I can't be mad at them as a team.
No. They committed to a vision for 20 years.
They committed to a vision
and did not fucking waver one fucking bit. This guy doesn't even eat ice cream. He eats avocado ice cream.
He doesn't even eat ice cream.
Yeah. This guy is disciplined as fuck.
Wow. That is a level of discipline that, I mean, you deserve to be a champion.
Yeah.
Even though I still think it's rigged.
Yeah. But he's got a private chef.
Right. They only eat food grown out of their soil.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. All of that is exactly how everyone should live.
Yeah. It's an investment. He invests in his body like it's a machine, like it's a business.
Absolutely. And it paid off. Do you think he'll come back from retirement?
I would love to see it.
They're betting odds already. What do you think? If you had to gun to your head.
If the right opportunity opens up, because the other thing is like with that team that he's on right now, there's going to be salary cap issues, right? So like a lot of those guys that they have they're not going to be on that team next year. So now's a good time to leave that team.
And you think he's going to stay retired? He's retired on a loss. You think that a guy like him can take that?
No. I think in a year or two, if the right situation opens up,
the right situation,
I think there's going to be a GM out there who's going to start making some calls like, look, hey, we're fully stacked. And the one thing we don't have is a good quarterback. What
he'll be 40, he'll be 46 years old by then?
45, 46. Yeah.
Because he's 44 now.
He's crazy competitive. He's not going to be able to watch some shitty quarterback like play well.
He's a competitive guy. Yeah.
And be like, that guy sucks. Like, you know what happened? If next year's like MVP is actually just some average guy who just got lucky, you know what I mean? Or just has some really good players around him, he's going to be like, you know what? Call my agent. I'm just fuck these niggas. I'm going to come on.
Right. Call my agent.
Yeah. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with taking a sabbatical year?
There's nothing wrong with taking a sabbatical. Sometimes that's what you need to clear your mind, spend some time with your family. I mean, his kids are growing up really quickly. I'm sure he's missed a lot of milestones. Maybe it's something he and his family really need to just reconnect and, you know, take a step back and rethink the vision, right? They've had a plan for so long. Well, if this plan has indeed changed, what is the new plan? I mean, he's too young to just golf. So he's going to want to do something. And if he does decide to come back, then how will he keep himself conditioned so he can make that comeback in a meaningful way when he does decide to, if he decides to?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think there's no way he at this point, his habits are his habits. So like, it's not like he's going to just stop working out.
Right. You know, I mean, he's not going to just turn into Al Bundy. I mean,
yeah. Like Ben Roethlisberger is completely the opposite. Ben Roethlisberger doesn't work out during the off season, like smokes, drinks, like, You know what I mean? He puts on like
Right.
30 pounds during the offseason, then loses it over the course of the season. He doesn't lift weights. He doesn't do shit.
Right. And that's why he's not Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why he's falling apart at 35.
Right.
And Tom Brady's 45
coming
and
off
still
the wagon.
out here.
Right. And Tom Brady's out there like, you know, beating people's children's asses. So
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I hear you on that.
And then as far as the Super Bowl is concerned, everyone's rooting for no one gives a shit about the LA Rams.
Nobody cares if the Rams win. So you think everybody is betting against them?
I think the Rams are a lot better team, but this Cincinnati Bengals team has beaten all these other teams that were better than them. So why can't they?
So you're leaning into the Bengals for the Super Bowl.
I want them to win. It's the underdog. Okay. It's a good story. Cincinnati is a city that's been through a lot. It'd be nice to see them get something, you know?
Yeah. So Cincinnati deserves a little magic.
Yeah. You want to know something that's interesting about Cincinnati? They're one of I think they're the only NFL team that doesn't have an indoor facility. They practice outside right next to a highway. And for the longest, people have said that owner is a piece of shit. He's a billionaire who won't give them.
Because he makes his team work outside next to the highway.
He won't even build a goddamn garage shed with some turf. Like he makes them work outside right next to a fucking highway.
He didn't even build them a carport, right?
It's not like you're in San Antonio where it's 90 degrees all the time. Like you're in Ohio.
Cincinnati's cold, right? And you got these motherfuckers working out all year long outside, but that makes them tough, right? That builds some resilience.
You got them breathing in these fumes. You're a billionaire. You can't even spring for a shed.
Right. He's like, yeah, but they come out of this like machines.
Like this guy's literally the cheapest fucking guy.
Right. You know? They changed them like the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna work out right here on this lawn with no overhead next to a highway, and you become out of this champions.
Yeah, I don't care if it's a blizzard, bitch. Get your ass out there, do some jumping jacks.
Yeah, put some extra socks on. What do you want me to tell you? Get your gloves. Grab your gloves and put on a hat.
What do you want? We gave you a sweatsuit. What do you want?
Right. You have a hoodie. Right? Put on your thermals and get your ass outside.
Get your ass out there.
Get your ass outside. Get your ass outside.
Yeah,
what does this look like?
They don't deserve, like that ownership group does not deserve the players that are, you know, making them billions of dollars.
Right.
But yeah, people are rooting for them. The LA Rams are weird. Like they don't actually have that much of a fan base in Los Angeles.
Okay.
The game that they recently played against the San Francisco 49ers, it was at least 60% San Francisco 49ers fans in Los Angeles.
Okay. So
they shut that shit down.
The 49er fans held that down.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You know what they tried to do? They tried to prevent them from selling tickets if you did not have a LA zip code.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. They were like, oh, these ticket sales are limited to only people whose billing address is within like this LA like zip code area.
Right.
So if you got a San Francisco zip code, they said you couldn't do it. Now there was pushback immediately. And so they had to drop the policy, but they announced that shit.
Damn.
Yeah. And the NFL said, no, you're not going to have all this San Francisco money just like not getting spent on these tickets. Like,
right.
Don't you know these tech motherfuckers are going to come down here and drop thousands to come and see this shit? Yo, we ain't about to let y'all do that.
So what do you make of the David Flores lawsuit against the NFL?
That should be its own podcast, but it's good. It's a good thing. It's a class action too, which is good.
Excellent. Who's signing? That means somebody's co-signing.
Well, so Flores is starting it. It'll get certified as a class, and then they'll invite other people to sign on. And exactly what you said. If they still have a future, they're not going to sign on. But if they know they're done,
they might.
And that's the thing. Black coaches don't get second chances.
Right. Black coaches don't get second chances. And I think that, and I heard that they are actually looking at a coach who's a high school coach for a couple of positions. And I believe it was Shannon Sharp on his Shannon Skip show, just Undisputed. I think he said, tell me one Black coach in the world that would get a shot at being an NFL coach who was teaching at a high school.
Yeah, Josh McCown. Yeah, he has no NFL coaching experience at all. Not a head coach, not a coordinator. He has never held a coaching position at any level in the NFL.
Right, but they're transitioning him.
Coach, and they're like
giving him the okay.
Well, you know, everybody likes him, and he played for hella years as a backup.
Damn,
as a backup.
So he didn't even play all that much, right?
Yeah,
he wasn't Tom Brady. He was a backup and a high school coach. And nothing against high school coaches. I mean, you need to train them then to get into the NFL. I get it.
But how are you getting interviews
Shannon's
right
now? Shannon's point was, how is he even getting looked at? And that wouldn't happen to any other.
And you wonder why niggas are mad.
Right. So you think it's a good thing? Do you think it'll be successful?
No. I think it'll get settled. I think it'll get settled out of court, and then the NFL will do what they always do. They'll do some stupid fucking virtue signaling. They'll bring in some black, sell out to, hold hands and sing "We Shall Overcome." They'll do more stupid.
They'll add another black national anthem song.
Right. They'll do a black national anthem at the fucking game or some bullshit. They'll, right. we already have "End Racism" painted in the end zone or some bullshit. You know what I mean? They'll just do more of that bullshit, and then they'll settle it out of court, and Brian Flores is going to get his motherfucking money.
He's going to get his money, though.
Because what they don't want is to start subpoenaing those motherfucking
emails.
Records, emails and those texts. They don't want to go through discovery.
No.
That's the last thing they want. Not with these billionaires and their sex clubs and their yachts and what the fuck they got going on.
I'm so curious. The law firm that took this case on,